Is your dog grinding to a halt? Are you running out of processing power to run your sessions? In this video, you'll learn how to simplify your workflow by understanding auxiliary tracks, also known as bus tracks. So whether the idea of bus tracks is new to you, or you've heard of a bus before but you don't really get why people are so stoked on them, this is the video for you. And this video is brought to you by DistroKid. If you're an artist looking to release music on Spotify or Apple Music, DistroKid makes it quick and easy with unlimited uploads, and artists keep 100% of their royalties and earnings. You can use the link in the description to get a discount on your first year's subscription with DistroKid. And if you're a student or a teacher, there's a separate educational link for an even larger discount. So what is a bus track or an auxiliary track? So that's a track that's not routed through your system's hardware channels. It's not something that you can plug into on your interface. It's a channel that exists solely within your computer's DAW. So by creating a bus channel, we can send multiple tracks to that bus to be grouped and then processed together. Now, this was commonly used in live sound analog consoles for something like the drums. Once the engineer got the drums balanced nicely, they could send them to the drum bus to adjust the volume of the entire kit on a single fader. And that brings us to why use a bus track? Well, a bus track is useful when you want to use a similar action or process on a group of individual tracks. Instead of putting the same reverb plugin on each of your vocal tracks, you could send each of your vocals to a bus with a single reverb plugin on it, and then choose how much of each vocal track you send to that reverb bus. The return of this bus would then be a track with 100% reverb that you could blend in with the dry vocal that you're sending to it. This technique was born again from the analog world, where a piece of gear could only process one or two channels at a time. By using the equipment in a bus configuration, multiple instruments could be processed at once by a single piece of gear. This is the idea behind parallel compression, where you have one version of your signal that's being compressed alongside another copy of the signal that is not being compressed. If you'd like to see a video about parallel compression, let me know down in the comments. All right, so now let's go through how to set up a bus track in Logic. So in your Logic session, you're going to go to the audio track that you'd like to send to a bus. And you'll see a couple of menus on this track. At the top, we have settings, then an EQ graph, and then you have your channel's input. Below that, we have space for our audio effects. And then underneath, we have sends and our stereo output. So the three important things we want to remember for this tutorial are the input menu, the sends menu, and the output menu. So our inputs, our sends, and our output. So if you have some audio recorded in your DAW, by default, it's going to play back through your stereo output. It's going to go to your speakers so that you can hear it. That may sound super obvious, but you can also send that audio to another location. So if you click the send menu, you'll have two options, bus and output. Output is going to be the hardware outputs on your interface, and bus will be a list of digital outputs that exist within the computer. So you can create dozens of them. So we're going to select bus number 1, and Logic will automatically create an auxiliary track with bus 1 as the input, which is pretty handy because not every DAW does that. Now you can load your processing onto this bus channel, be it a reverb or a compressor or whatever you like. Now back on your audio track, you can adjust this dial here on the send to control the amount of signal that you are sending to that bus. If you don't want to blend the two tracks together in parallel, you could instead set your audio track's output to bus 1, and that's going to send 100% of its output to this bus track. But for most effects like reverb, I would recommend using the sends so that you still have control over your wet-dry blend. So I hope you found this video helpful. Leave a like if you did, and consider subscribing if you want to see more videos like this one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
When all we do is talk, it's not my fault. I can't get enough of you.